It got nominated for 12 categories and it won 9 of them. Shout out to Blaze Light with the sub. Those 9 awards include Best Performance, which 3 people were nominated for. So Best Voice Performance, Best Debut Indie Game, Best Independent Game, Best Score and Music, Best Game Direction, Best Art Direction, Best Narrative, Best RPG, and the cream of the crop, the magnum opus, Game of the Year. And like I said, this is historic. Winning this is the most winning game in history. The stars just aligned for these motherfuckers, bro. I think people fail to realize one of the reasons why it won so many awards is like it just got lucky in the situation. This is their debut game and it's independent, so that gave them 2 extra categories right there. And then the game was also just that good. But like I said, if you watch this stream, you wasn't shocked. You don't have to agree with it, because at the end of the day, once you reach a certain level of quality, it becomes subjective. But you do got to understand, if you're a real gamer, you don't have to agree with it, but you understand it at bare minimum. You're allowed to say Dispatch is your favorite game or Hades 2. That's perfectly fine. Those are respectable choices, but you got to understand it at least. And there was a lot of people that did not understand it. And you know the worst part is, why did you delete that Rambo video? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You might got the wrong channel. What was I about to say? The worst part is this got a lot of gun gamers panties in a bunch, and the game continues to get better. Expedition 33 devs drop a big update after sweeping the awards. Sandfall Interactive, the developers of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, know how to ride the wave. Right after the visually stunning RPG finished dominating the Game Awards, the team dropped a free thank you content update for fans. This is no minor patch either. It adds a playable environment and new boss battles for late game players. The thank you update also adds new music, a photo mode, and new text plus UI localizations. On top of that, you'll find quality of life tweaks, including performance boosts on PC, etc., etc. So not only did it sweep the award show, the game got better. Download that update if you have not already. Hold up, let me make sure my filter's on. Yeah, my ducking's not on, my bad. So it got better if you're unaware of that. But we're not here for that, okay? I just wanted to let you know in case you didn't know. This is actually a great time to hop in and play the game if you haven't played already, or if you have and you want to check out the new content. What I wanted to cover is, after winning all the awards, my Twitter timeline's been on fire, and so is my TikTok. Been getting video after video after video from ball and gun gamers who are essentially saying, "Wah! Wah!" I was getting so many videos. I said, you know what? I don't have a lot to talk about on stream, and I'm not gonna lie. When I debate people and I reply to other people's opinions, this content performs better than my average. My channel is booming right now. The Hokage highlights one. And if you know anything about content creation or business, period, you double down on what's working. So fuck it. As long as it's interesting and people are clicking, we're gonna do these response videos, okay? Before we start talking about these ball and gun gamers and what they have to say about Expedition 33 sweep, keep in mind, what I'm about to discuss is just me discussing their opinion. Whether I agree or disagree, I don't have any personal issue with any of these people. It's not that deep. We just talking about games. So keep in mind, it's nothing personal, nothing like that. We just attacking the opinion. We're not attacking the person. You'll always know when I have an actual problem with somebody. That being said, let's see what some of the people who disagree with the Expedition 33 sweep have to say. Yeah, don't be attacking them. That shit is corny. First one comes from Ed Special Sauce. Let's see what he got to say, my man.
Expedition 33. Nigga, why was that shit nominated for like almost every fucking game category you could goddamn think of? Best indie game, best score.
Right there, so if I didn't know what Expedition 33 was and I saw that it was nominated for 12 awards, my first thought would be, God damn, that shit must be really good to get nominated that many times versus instantly going to hating. I feel like the psychology of people like that needs to be studied. I don't understand. I don't know what he's doing with the comb. Don't worry about that, chat. Come on now. Come on, be civilized, y'all. I don't understand why people's mind instantly goes to hating when they see something is being celebrated. Especially in this world where like there's a lot of negativity going on. I don't know. My brain instantly goes to, oh, that's cool. What is that? I want to learn more about it. But let's keep going.
Or best fuck, like what? Never heard this game in my fucking life. What the fuck is that game? Then I find out.
So I already watched this one. When he was saying that, my brain instantly went to, he's a ball and gun gamer. But I'm going to keep letting him speak because he said something in this video and he beat the allegations. He's not a ball and gun gamer. He just didn't know what Expedition 33 is. So I'm going to let him keep rocking and then we're going to talk about that.
It's turn-based. Personal opinion, I fucking hate RPGs. Turn-based games, I fucking hate that shit. Like, yo, that's me personally. But there's no way that shit was best game. It won all those categories. What the fuck is that game? Best indie game should have definitely gone to Dispatch. Like, I don't know.
And right there, when I was like, okay, so be chill. He's not a balling. I was joking. He's not a ball and gun gamer. He played Dispatch. I'm going to give him some clout. He played it. I haven't even played it yet. That's next on my bucket list after Ninja Gaiden 4. So I'm going to give him some clout. That being said, I am a little confused because in my opinion, Dispatch is much more, and no pun intended, but Dispatch is much more obscure than Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That is, in my opinion, that's a more obscure game. So for you to be like, what the fuck is Expedition 33, but you played Dispatch, that was kind of strange, but kudos to you for you playing it. What's the name? That being said, what's a ball and gun gamer mean? Anybody asking that question is a ball and gun gamer. I hate to break it to you. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain it to you and then we'll get back to this. A ball and gun gamer is a person who primarily plays games with balls and guns in it. It is a stereotype. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. It is a stereotype put on people. I think the main issue people have with ball and gun gamers is not that they play games like Call of Duty and 2K and Madden and FIFA. It's more in GTA. It's more so of their dismissive nature. So when you refer to, if you're somebody who only plays ball and gun games, we're not talking about you. You're allowed to like those. The term ball and gun gamer is a term put on people who are dismissive towards anything else that doesn't have it. So know the difference. But whatever. Anyways, he's not one. He's not one. That is, yeah. It's about. I don't know if it's Friday night. It's about to be a long day. I'm confused how you knew Dispatch, but you didn't know Expedition 33. But yeah, you gotta. People gotta stop doing this thing where they see something get nominated for a bunch of shit and they'll be like, "What the fuck is that? Just try it." Now, to be fair, he said he doesn't like RPGs. He doesn't like turn-based RPGs. And I've seen a lot of people say that. I don't agree with that. But that being said, one reason I would recommend, Sauce, you check out Expedition 33 is one of the reoccurring themes I've seen is a lot of people say that don't like turn-based RPGs. They say, I don't like turn-based RPGs, but I like Expedition 33. This might be the one that gets you into it. So like, I would encourage you to like get away from that negative mind frame of why is it winning so much and just try it out because it is, especially if you have Game Pass, it's free on Game Pass. And if you don't, it's $50. Why not?
Why the fuck? Like what?
Is Dispatch not an RPG? It is, but he specifically said he doesn't like turn-based RPGs. You could argue Dispatch is a turn-based RPG because you're sitting around just waiting to your turn to say something. But like, I think when he says turn-based RPG, he's talking about Pokemon, Persona, Expedition 33, Legend of Dragoon, if you know, you know. But yeah, I think that's what he means.
I already know all the Expedition 33ers. That game was best game of the year. You didn't know what you're talking about. If you knew the game a little bit, shut up, bro. Shut up. I don't want to hear that shit.
So like right there, even though he's technically not a ball and gun gamer because he played Dispatch, and I'm going to assume his library has other games he's played too. That what you did right there is why people get labeled a ball and gun gamer. So if you want to be part of the conversation, like you got to argue from a non-disingenuous point. If you come on the internet and just be like, oh, I never heard of that. What's this about? Can y'all tell me more? People be like, yeah, let me tell you about it. But instead you're like, why does win all this awards? I ain't never heard of this shit. Fucking, and then on top of that, if you try to explain it to me, I ain't trying to hear all that. Well, then my question to you is then why did you make the video? If you don't care, why did you make the video? By you making the video, you do care on some type of level. You're contradicting yourself. It doesn't make any sense to me. And it's just disingenuous. I would encourage you to give it a try. It's only $50. The game is also free on Game Pass. Dispatch is not an RPG; it's an interactive choice-based game. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Cool. Okay, that's what I said technical because RPG stands for role playing. And do you not role play? Is like characters in Dispatch. I would lean more towards it is like that choice based thing, but like I'd argue it still is a role playing game. I think when people say role playing game, they usually think of like Witcher 3, Baldur's Gate, but like the technical definition is role playing. Like Assassin's Creed is a role playing game. It's an action adventure role playing game. There's levels to this shit. I feel like when people say RPG, they're only talking about hardcore RPGs. But anyways, that's semantics. We can agree to disagree. I don't care about that. That's semantics. I don't care about that. Hey, Sauce, I'd encourage you to check it out. Also, stop putting videos on the internet asking questions and then being dismissive. Why you ask a question if you don't want to know the answer? That is a little bit confusing, my brother. That is a little bit confusing. Next one that I got for you. We need more demos, low key. Yeah, we need more demos. And also another thing that he has said too is he was just like, I never heard of that. That's one thing that like we got to stop viewing the world from only our own lens. And I think this is, I don't know if it's a uniquely American problem, but it's just like people are so self-centered. Because you never heard of it doesn't mean it's irrelevant. From my knowledge, and it's probably sold more, especially after last night. The game came out in April. So April, May, June, July, August, September, November. So 6-7 months. It sold 5 million copies. It's one of the best selling. And just to put in perspective, because I feel like people are going to be dismissive with that. Oh, only 5 million. 5 million is a lot. The best selling game of the year so far is Battlefield 6 with 10 million copies. And a hardcore RPG sold 5 million copies. So I know you haven't heard of it, but it actually is very popular. And we don't know the numbers on Game Pass. That's what it sold. And I can't stress enough. That's actually very impressive. Yeah, 6-7. Shut the fuck up. It sold 5 million copies despite the fact it was on Game Pass for free. That is actually very impressive. I know you never heard of it, but that does not mean it's not popular. And I wish people would stop making that argument as well. There is a world outside of you. And if you open yourself up, you can live a better life. Because I tweeted about this earlier. I feel like people be so ready to hate on something popular, trying to just dismiss something because it's quote unquote being glazed. And I get it. Sometimes certain things are overglazed, but this is one of those situations where, and y'all know I'm a stickler. I'm very critical because I've been gaming my whole life, 30 plus years. I'm very critical. This is one of the few games where you'll hear me say like, yeah, it deserves to be glazed. This is my favorite game that I've played since Elden Ring came out in 2022. And then third place would probably be Baldur's Gate 3. What's the name? It deserves the praise, and I would just recommend keep an open mind. Keep in mind. Notice how no one on Twitch chat did that. Y'all are embarrassing us. Wait, what? Anyways, what else I got? What else I got for you? Next video. All right, from this lady, it comes from Tomless Holland. This one was interesting. More Expedition 33 conversation. Well, by the way, before I play this video, if y'all got any tweets, videos, like YouTube videos, like make sure it's short if it is, or TikTok or Twitter videos. Yeah, her name is funny. Shout out there. Link it to me where people are like just crying about Expedition 33. Just make sure it's funny or interesting. Like if you got some Expedition ball and gun gamers, let me know. I'm gonna get to the ethos shit too. We gonna get to it. But anyways, let's check out what Thomas Holland has to say.
I want to get in a fight about Game of the Year, but I'm gonna say some controversial shit. I'm not saying E33 did not deserve Game of the Year, but did it deserve to sweep like 9 categories? Absolutely not. I have played the prologue of E33.
I disagree. It definitely did. Hold on, let's bring up them categories again. X33 award. Let's see, best debut indie game. It was the best debut indie game. Best independent game. It was the best indie game. I know some people wanted to argue maybe for like Dispatch or something like that, but like, I'm sorry. Great game, came out in the wrong year. Best role playing game. It was. It got 3 different people got nominated for a reason. It had great voice acting. Easily the best album. I bought the vinyl. I agree. Best art direction. Some people want to argue this. They don't think this one. I've seen a lot of people saying it didn't deserve this one. I feel like you didn't get that far in the game if you don't think this had some of the best art direction this year, because the use of colors, the textures, it had great art direction. I don't know, man. The particle effects, best narrative, hands down. It definitely had the best story this year. Best game direction. I think it did, and then I thought it was getting. Let me see what she has to say. Which one did you feel like deserve a different award?
Refused to play E33 for a while out of spite because everyone was glazing it out the ass.
Chat. Let's talk about it. I don't understand this mind frame. Why, when something is being praised, do people feel the need to just be like, I don't want to check it out? So I'm not gonna lie, you kind of poisoned the well right there. You just admitted you was a hater, unfortunately. You admitted you wanted to dislike this game, and the unfortunate thing is, regardless of what you say, my counter argument's always gonna be you came in trying to find something to dislike.
And it was pissing me off, so I didn't play it for a while. So I decided to download the game and play the prologue. The prologue is very interesting. Music is great, graphics are great, the story genuinely compelling, like a very interesting premise that I did not expect from this kind of game. Definitely Game of the Year material. If I play the rest of the game, I'm sure I will once I get to it. I'm playing God of War 2018 right now. But once I play the rest of the game, I'm sure I'll enjoy it. It seems like a kind of game that I would like. However,
you only played the prologue. You only played the prologue, and you agree at bare minimum it deserved a nomination. You got all that. You didn't even get to any of the good parts of the game, and you were already arguing for it to be Game of the Year. I'd argue your video is arguing against your argument because you didn't get very far in the game, but you have a very I guess what throws me off is, where does the conviction come from? Like you, and then like the last dude, like the passion. Where does this super passionate opinion come from somebody who didn't play it? You didn't play the game, to be honest. You played basically the first hour and put it down. That's the part that confuses me. I've never been like super confident or passionate about something I don't know anything about.
It is a little unfair for it to win like 9 categories, okay? And the Game of the Year awards made it seem like it was like the perfect game, but there are, even in the prologue, I saw some things and I'm like, okay, the fighting mechanic is literally just a ripoff of
You said, I was about to say you didn't.
Persona. It's some things and I'm like, okay, the fighting mechanic is literally just a ripoff of Persona.
No, it's not. The UI, you could argue, is inspired by Persona. I'll give you that. But this is not, it's not, what up, Ethos? It's not a ripoff of Persona. And this is how I know you didn't play the game. This game was inspired easily by The Legend of Dragoon. And a lot of y'all didn't play this shit. This game didn't. No, I'll say the UI is similar to Persona, but no, in terms of turn-based RPGs, it plays more like The Legend of Dragoon. But even still, it takes what The Legend of Dragoon did with the counter mechanic and the timing of the buttons, because that was first in Legend of Dragoon, and it builds upon it and it adds it and takes it to a different level. But to say this is a ripoff of Persona, no, it's not. Because Persona, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. At least from what I played, because I've only played Persona 4 and then a little bit of that the 5 one. Persona 4 is more of a traditional turn-based RPG. It's not as interactive as Expedition 33, so it's not a ripoff. You can't say it's a ripoff of Persona if it doesn't play like Persona. But anyways, keep it moving.
It's just Persona. It's Persona. I was a little disappointed when I found out that was the fighting mechanic. I was like, oh, I don't really like this fighting mechanic. I have nothing against turn-based games either.
So I'm not bugging. It's not like Persona, like the hardcore fans in the chat are saying. What's up, buddy? Yeah.
Okay, I play Baldur's Gate 3. And I love Baldur's Gate 3, mind you. I did not mind Baldur's Gate 3 winning Game of the Year. I think it deserved that.
Yeah, so nobody's questioning you on whether or not you like RPGs. We heard you. You gave the prologue a chance, and you also played Baldur's Gate 3. The problem with your argument, thank you. I got a cute dog, thank you. The problem with your argument is you just admitted you didn't play the game. And matter of fact, no, you just admitted you only played the prologue, and we know you didn't play anywhere enough of the game because you just compared it to Persona, and the game doesn't play like Persona.
The character growth, the plot, how long the game is, the replayability alone deserves Game of the Year, and the music is great. But I'm still more blown out of the water by Baldur's Gate 3 than I am with E33 currently.
Because it's probably because you beat Baldur's Gate 3. You just admitted you only played the prologue, and then you miscalculated the gameplay. You probably think more of it because you played more of it, which allowed you to form more of an opinion.
That could change when I finish the game. These are just my current thoughts. It's not a full opinion because I haven't finished the game, so take that with a grain of
See,
salt.
this is why I hate Persona fans. They got an agenda against it. Nah, Baldur's Gate 3 offers way more. I would say Baldur's Gate 3 offers more from a choice standpoint. From a choice standpoint in terms of how you shape your narrative. But I'm going to be honest, even though Baldur's Gate 3 has more for how you can shape and change the story, I think Expedition's story, its narrative overall is stronger and it's more concise. But if you want to give Baldur's Gate 3 the edge, I'll accept that. That's like apples to oranges. For me, I would say that's preference. I think the writing is stronger in Expedition 33. I think Baldur's Gate 3 has its moments, but like in that third act, I feel like it falls apart. But I mean, it's apples and oranges.
There are just some categories that I think other games outperformed. Like that E33 did well, but not as well as these games did. For example, best indie category. I'm sorry. E33 was heavily funded, and I think created by ex-Ubisoft people or something like that. That's what I've heard online. I don't know.
Yes, this is why it's important to do a Google search. They are former Ubisoft developers, and they went and formed their own studio, but they are not backed by Ubisoft. Therefore, it is independent. Independent means you are not backed by like a mega corporation. That's all it means. Just because you're able to raise a bunch of money through other ways does not mean you're not independent. Keyword is X. Yeah, X Ubisoft. That could still be indie. Oh boy.
It had a giant.
Yeah. Also, it had a $10 million budget. That's not big in consideration compared. For those unaware, the game only cost $10 million according to reports. A lot of these AAA games cost 100 million plus. At least 50, and then you saw Concord was 200 million, so it had a very small budget in comparison.
Had a massive team. Well, massive compared to another indie game.
So now 30 people is a massive team. So like I really need, I'm not gonna lie, this is why I be going to war with the indie game community. Some of y'all are annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Just because it wasn't made by 1 to 5 people and didn't cost a shoestring to make does not mean it's not indie, guys. So now the argument is it doesn't deserve Best Indie Award because it had 30 people on the team in comparison to other major studios that have hundreds, if not thousands of employees. We should be praising this game. It was made by 30 people. It is indie.
That yes, it's Silksong. It's Silksong. 4 people, 4 people made that game. And say what you want about Silksong, about its difficulty, whatever. Get good. Silksong is amazing. And for
we're getting to the gist of it. She's a Silksong fanboy. She was waiting years for it. So she just has an agenda. She doesn't have an actual point.
Specifically indie game enjoyers. No, I'm saying indie game and not games like GTA. It was the most anticipated indie game of at least the last 5 years to a decade.
Star Wars Battlefront was, do you remember the original Star Wars Battlefront? That was one of my most anticipated games when it came out that year. What was it, like 2014 or some shit like that? That shit ended up being ass. Being anticipated doesn't mean it's the best. That's not how this shit works. I'm not gonna lie. This is the direct result of, I think, of this younger gen. I hate to sound like an old head, but this younger generation being raised on this concept of everybody gets a trophy. I'm seeing videos now that like teachers don't even fail students anymore. Everybody does not get a trophy. You cannot say that you are pro competition until the competition shows up. Everybody want to hang with the dogs, but you don't mean you can run with them.
You should have seen the subreddit, guys. People were literally losing their minds in there waiting for this fucking game to come out. I don't think that E33 qualifies as an indie game.
By the way, if you ever see this video, Tomless, we do a podcast, and one of my co-hosts, shout out to Watts, she's a fellow woman. She was waiting for Silksong as well. Big Silksong fan. She said Expedition 33 is better. It's just a better game. We know you've been waiting for it for years, but it's better. You played more Baldur's Gate and more Silksong than Expedition 33, and that's why you have stronger opinions, but you didn't play Expedition 33.
Because to me, indie games are, usually low budget, low staffed games that are amazing. So I think of Hollow Knight.
Low staff does not mean indie. If you want to be an artist, a music artist, and you save up money yourself, and then you hire a staff, you are still indie because you funded yourself. All it means is that a corporation is not backing you.
because it's literally Team Cherry is like 3 or 4 people, which is why it took so long to fucking make. I think it deserved to win indie game. Dare I say, I think it deserved to win best OST. Clear Obscure music is beautiful, but so like Hollow Knight music will always like that's what I'm going to be listening to fall asleep.
Morse Critical put out a video saying there should be a limit on how many awards you can win for your game. I disagree. If we start following that logic, Michael Jordan will never exist. Bill Russell will never exist. Tom Brady will never exist. LeBron James, Larry Bird, name any they won't exist. Steph Curry, you name them. No, everybody doesn't get a reward, bro. That's just not how it works. You got to show up and compete. Shout out to Wayne Gretzky. Exactly. Kendrick Lamar. No, it's just any other year. Like, I'm not going to lie. If some of these games that got nominated for Game of the Year would have came out last year, like a Hades 2 or a Silk Song, it would have had a much better chance. You just came out the wrong year. Matter of fact, the same thing is going to happen next year. Regardless of the quality of Grand Theft Auto 6, it could just be mid to above average. Because of its popularity, it will be nominated for Game of the Year. And there's also a high probability it will win Game of the Year because Jeff Keighley does not want that smoke from the internet. That's just how it fucking works. GTA might do a sweep as well. Get used to it. There are just some people. It's like you can't complain Wimby is taller. He was just born with the genetics. He's swatting everything. Either adapt or keep it fucking moving.
It's not going to be Clair Obscur. I'm not going to be listening.
I can understand the sweep sentiment. This was a great year for gaming, and some great games got 0 awards. Womp womp. You should have. I've been said it on this stream. One of the best things, and this is why I said we need to start this PR company. Game developers need to start looking at the calendar and asking themselves, can they compete with X, Y, and Z? And be honest with yourself. Would it be better to put out our game in November and then try to go for an award in December? Because most games come out in the fall. Or would it be better to take our game, look at the calendar and say, it might be better to push that back from November to January or February of 2026. It's only a few months. It would have put Silk Song in a better, well, no, because Grand Theft Auto's coming out. It's just a bad, this conversation is proof that gaming isn't dead. There's so much great competition that some people are going to get left in the dust. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means it wasn't good enough.
I'm never going to be downloading that OST. I will always be downloading the Silk Song OST or just the regular base Hollow Knight OST. Those OSTs are fucking banger. Calming and relaxing, and I love them. Art direction, I don't think should have gone to E33. I think it should have gone to Hades. Hades art has always been so precious to me. I love the Hades art style. And it's just me because I'm a 2D animation, 2D art glazer because it's a dying art. Not a lot of games are 2D anymore.
So it comes down to you're upset that what you think should be glazed didn't get glazed. This is so subjective. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This one I might concede on a little bit. I do think that Expedition 33 should have won Best Art Direction. I thought the art in it was very beautiful. But like, if somebody really wanted to argue me down, like Hades or Silk Song should have won it, I'll let you have that one. That one's not that big of a deal. So like, I'll concede on this one. I don't really care that much. But overall, it was still the best game of the year.
Love that shit. So that's just my own personal bias. But I think Hades 2 should have won best art direction. I'm sorry. It's because with all these, newer gen games with like, 3D graphics, they just all kind of blend together for me. But when I see a standalone game that has 2D art in it, that stands out more to me when it comes to art direction. So Silk Song.
Well, you want to know where Hades fucked up? I can't speak on Silk Song. Where Hades fucked up is it released in early access. It released in early access earlier in the year, and then it just kind of disappeared. And then out of nowhere, I remember like articles and videos dropped. Hades 2 1.0 is here. It killed its fucking momentum. So that's why I don't think people are glazing it as hard. It's not like in the zeitgeist, and that goes back to paying attention and releasing things at the right time. Why not just release it when it was done? Hades 2 was gas. Oh, I don't disagree. I'm just telling you why I think it wasn't as big in the conversation. It killed its own momentum. It had been out for 2 years. It killed its own momentum. This just comes down to it feels like she has a preference towards like 2D, and she believes indie games are only made by 1 to 5 people. I don't think you have a full grasp exactly what exactly indie means. But you know, to each his own. To each his own. Expedition still better. Shout out to Treason with the super chat. Appreciate it. She's a Persona fan, so I think she could spot a standout OST, but I guess I'm wrong. Right. As a Persona fan, you would think she'd know Expedition 33's OST was the best of the year. But here's the thing, and here's why she doesn't know it. She didn't play it, Treason. Remember, she only played the prologue. How long is the prologue in Expedition 33? What, like 45 minutes or some shit like that? She didn't play the game. That's what it comes down to. This is one of those things where I think that you might regret this opinion once you actually play the game. It's 30 minutes. So she played 30 minutes. She didn't play the game. This is one of those things where I think like you should go back and play the game. And your opinion might change because you didn't play the game. Next one. What else we got? Hey, send those videos in if you got them. This next one comes from Skin Knee, and she says the Game Awards needs to be stopped. She coming in hot.
Here, I watched the Game Awards and expect something more. And it was the way that it was like deliberately throughout the entire programming. They were like, guys, we promise this one's good. No. It's not. Like, I'm literally so fucking tired of watching the fucking gaming awards, and it's literally like going back to a toxic fucking ex.
Is she complaining about the game announcements? I don't agree with that. You know what's funny? Jeff put up a poll and he asked to give the grade, and 37%, the majority of the vote, said they gave it a D. I found 10 games that I was interested in buying, and there were like 2 more or 3 more that I know people would have liked that I just personally wasn't interested in. So then I got to push back on that, and I got to ask gamers, like, what do you guys want? Hold on, let me find that list real quick. Let me go to my recent. Is this it? Yeah, right here. I wrote them down. So they announced that Badger game, which it was kind of like, it looked like a what's the with the shit with Sackboy? It kind of looked like that. The Control game looked fire. Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic looked fire. Exodus looked fire. Gang of Dragon looked fire. 2 different Tomb Raider games. Probably going to get them both. Orbitals for the Switch 2. Star Wars Galactic Racer. You got another pod racer. Out of words. And then High Guard. High Guard, I'm like 50-50 on. I saw that shit got mad dislikes. We're going to talk about that later. High Guard, I'll give it a chance just because it's free to play and it's coming out next month. I'm not sure if I'll like that or not, but like I'll keep an open mind. Yeah, they had Ace Combat 8, The Forest 3. Yeah, Little Big Planet, my bad. Badger looked like Little Big Planet. I saw a bunch of games that I was interested in, so like respectfully, I got a Divinity 3. I know people love Divinity. Yeah, that's like 13 14 games that like I gotta get pushback. I'm like, what are you looking for? There's literally something there for everybody. You didn't find one game that you were interested in? Yeah, they announced the new Mega Man. You didn't find nothing you were interested in. I gotta give pushback on that. I'm like, what do you let her keep talking. What are you into?
I know it's not going to be anything that I want it to be, and yet I go back every single fucking year and I sit there for 2 hours and I watch that fucking program, and it's always ass.
To be fair, you just admitted that it's never what you want it to be. You have to keep in mind that the Game Awards is a celebration of gaming culture as a whole. It's not a celebration of your gaming preferences, meaning Jeff has to appeal to every demographic of gamer. That's from sports gamers to shooter gamers, from shooter gamers to RTS gamers, from RTS gamers to RPG gamers. Are you following me? It's not about you. He's got to appeal to the cozy gamers too. It's about everybody. And that's why I said, when I asked, what are some of y'all looking for? You have to understand and remove your personal bias from things and say, okay, this game isn't necessarily for me, but it looks dope and I know people will buy that. I know I'm personally not interested in Divinity 3, but I would be a fucking hater to sit up here and say that Divinity does not have a strong audience. And maybe it comes down to a lot of you guys are not as in tune with the community as you think you are.
It has not been good in years. And you know what the even crazier fucking thing is?
I disagree. I think it's been good for like the last 2 or 3 years. I think there's way too many fucking ads. That's my main problem right now. And then I think a year or 2 ago, they were shooing the developers off when they were giving speeches. I didn't like that shit either because we're supposed to be celebrating the culture. But overall, compared to like 10 years ago, I would say on average, the last 3 or 4 have been at least a 7 or higher.
Expedition 33 did not deserve all of that. That was crazy. That was glazing, bro. That was crazy. Sweeping like that was like it just didn't need all that.
Why do you feel that way?
Best art direction, best indie game. Are we serious? Are we dead ass? Like, are we dead fucking ass, bro?
She's not making any points. I didn't watch this one yet. I just saw her popping off and I saved it. I was like, oh, let me save it for the stream because she seemed angry. I hope she explains why it doesn't deserve best art direction or best indie game. Because right now it just kind of feels like, I disagree.
Yeah.
So she made no point. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think you know what you're talking about, champ. So listen, guys, the beauty of the internet is it's giving a voice to everybody. And I know everybody want to make it out their mama house being a content creator, but if you want to be a content creator, please start articulating yourselves because you never know who's watching. You literally just said that shit trash next. There's no critique or substance. And I think the most disappointing thing is you just admitted that every year you go back to the Game Awards like an ex, like an abusive ex, meaning you have some level of hope in it. So like if you genuinely, I disagree with you that it's bad, but if you genuinely feel like the Game Awards is bad and you know you're going to watch it next year, why not put into the universe what you think can be improved? That's why I said, yo, Jeff, you got to chill with all the gotcha game ads because I genuinely want to, we got to stop saying like, just shit try, like actually give feedback so that it can improve. You're just chatting.
So if you're a gaming company and you're gonna announce that you're making a fucking zombie slasher, get the fuck out of my face and do not fucking come to the Game Awards. If I have to sit through 5 fucking programs every single fucking year of you just explaining that you're making the same game that the bitch before you made, I'm gonna fucking
I don't understand. Like, I get you don't like zombie games. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really into zombie games either, but if they announced Left 4 Dead 3 tomorrow, the internet would break. People like zombie games. Just say it's not for you. I'm not gonna lie, Shorty, you didn't make a single point. Next. What else we got? Oh, we got the leader of the Ball and Gun Gamer Coalition. Shroud finds out. And you know, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I really think I'm hoping. I think he's trolling. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here. I don't know because I can't read his expressions. I don't know him. I've never interacted with him. But the leader of the Ball and Gun Coalition platoon, he finds out that French is a language.
Oh, is it Expedition 33 in a made-up language? Like the music? Like they're not actually speaking a real language?
It's in French.
No, I swear I remember hearing that Expedition 33 music isn't in a real language. It's like a fake language. It's not French. It's not French. It's like made up.
By the way, I get what he's saying. He's saying he's asking like did they make their own language up, kind of like with the Sims, like the Sims gibberish. But the funny part is he doesn't even realize, yo, French is a made up language. So yeah, technically he's right. Like somebody had to make up French. But like that's not what he meant. Oh shit. Every language is made up, dog.
I'm telling you, that's what I heard.
Actually,
and like his friends, that's why I was like, I'm hoping he's trolling, but I don't think he is because his friends are like, bro, it's French. And he's like, that's what I heard. Like he's getting frustrated. I don't know, man. Hey, real shit, Shroud, this is why it's important to play the games and form your own opinion instead of saying this game deserves to lose. This man got this man's got
it's crazy.
Oh shit.
Just making noises is a language.
I don't think
So
it is.
insane.
I'm telling you.
Well, shout out to the commander of the Ball and Gun platoon. He's not completely wrong, but he's not nearly right. Yeah, I know the Gastro, they were speaking like their own little gibberish, but some of like the music, like it's in French and shit. He said just making noises and shit. And then this one caught me. This one made me laugh right here. Hold up. Shout out to Hinton Live.
Game Awards are just completely rigged. I mean, it's clear that Expedition 33 just bought all their votes, just like every Game of the Year winner does. I mean, who the fuck even actually plays turn-based games? This is the same shit we saw with Baldur's Gate 3. Is what I would say if I had fucking soup for brains Expedition 33 sweep.
He had me in the first half. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is he talking about, bro? But he had me to shout out to you. That shit made me laugh, bro. He made me laugh. He had me in the first fucking half. W bait. Thank God I have a proper attention span and I didn't run to the comment section, bro. He sold that shit. Shout out to you. That made me laugh. What else did I have? Oh, this one right here. This one made me laugh too.
Why the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 development team was dressed as mimes the entire award show was because deep in their hearts they know they didn't really have to say anything. The game spoke for itself. The reason why they
he dropped the mic. He hit us with a bar. So yeah, that's the videos I had. I wish I would have saved the ones that I saw earlier. Anybody got like any funny tweets or like videos y'all seen of people talking about Expedition 33? I would encourage, because one thing I'm not gonna do, I like getting jokes off, but like I do want people to genuinely try these things that are winning awards. Just because like I genuinely feel like some of y'all live very miserable lives because y'all don't consume anything inspiring. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like a very miserable life to basically leave high school or college, work your 9 to 5, and then just come home and play 2K and Madden. Like, you hate your job, and then you just play 2K and Madden. You hate those games as well. And I'm like, that's why a lot of y'all are high-key miserable. Obviously, they can be enjoyable at times, because I enjoy 2K and Call of Duty at times as well, too. But all the time, that shit is fucking stressful. Sometimes y'all need to play some shit that's gonna inspire you. Like, when I went to the fucking, when I went to the Avatar concert, like last month, I got an idea for like one of the books that I want to write, listening to the music basically, because like it inspired me. So it's like, yo, you can eat your chicken tenders and your pizza, but I encourage everybody to try different things because you never know where you're going to get inspiration. And I feel like a lot of you guys are missing out on things that can inspire you because you simply refuse to venture out. Oh, y'all linking shit? Hold up, let me look at some shit. What y'all linking? What y'all linking? I saw this video. I think he's trolling because he did a video like a month ago contradicting that very point. I'm not gonna play that one. I seen that one. Yeah, the chat is moving. 1 second. Yeah, that's the same shit. Okay, what is this? Bro, this was released on September 24th. What the fuck does this have to do with anything? Yeah, this has nothing to do with anything. See, this is why I ban you niggas, bro. This is why I lock the fucking links behind who subbed. Bro, I watched the Avatar concert. That Secret Tunnels arrangement had me balling. Secret Tunnel. Yeah, I should ban whoever linked that shit. Secret Tunnels. Like, I remember when I left the Avatar concert, like it was like a mad crowd trying to get out of the theater, the amphitheater. I was like moving. I was like, I need to write this shit down on my phone before I fucking forget, bro. What else we got? Shroud saying Expedition 33 winning game of the year. What the fuck? What else we got? I got other stuff we can talk about too. You can see where gameplay started to matter less in favor of storytelling. Oh shit. So he's saying storytelling matters more. First of all, what's the story of Astrobot, chat? Also, to dismiss Bouldergate and Expedition story is crazy. I don't even know. I know a little bit of the story of Elden Ring, like the basis of it, but we played Elden Ring for the story. This was a combination of the story and the gameplay was crazy. This is the one I do agree shouldn't have won Game of the Year. That shouldn't be there. That should be Ghost of Tsushima. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Nobody played that for the story. We played that for the fades. It was the gameplay. God of War was a combination 2018 of the story and the gameplay. It was great. Zelda, some people played it for the story, but I feel like most people played it for the gameplay. And then Overwatch, people 100% played it for the gameplay. This is actually a dog shit opinion from this dude, bruh. This lineup is actually immaculate. This is mostly gameplay. These are great fucking games besides this one. Even Overwatch, because one thing, hey, before we move on to the next topic, one thing, that's my friend, he's trolling. Oh, he better be then. He better be. All right. I was about to say, one thing before we move on to the next topic, I want to say is I have started to see a revisionist history on Overwatch, and this is coming from somebody who does not like Overwatch anymore. I see people saying on social media that Overwatch should have not won Game of the Year in 2016, and yes, it should have. It was everybody was on Overwatch from like 2016 to like 2019. It's just because it's a live service game. It got worse over time. Some people got tired of it. And that's kind of the issue with live service games and why multiplayer games usually don't win Game of the Year. But to say it didn't deserve it in 2016, we got to stop the revision and say, y'all not going to do that. It deserved it. It was great. Even I was on that shit like crazy. That shit went crazy. Even if you didn't like it, you couldn't deny the influence. Everybody and their mama was cosplaying as fucking Tracer and shit. But yeah, that's what I got with the Expedition 33. We've been talking in our Discord how he rage baited everyone. Well, I'm glad you let me know. I was gonna say, this is the problem with getting paid on Twitter.